This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today we're here at Parcel Storm, located in the South China Sea. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. Frank, looks like a bit of a war zone out there.
Interesting layout, Rich. 18 par threes ahead of us, and well, we're going to have to negotiate ourselves around there, hopefully with radio control, and we can fire when we're ready.
One of the most unusual courses in the world. Players hitting across islands, over buildings, and off an aircraft carrier. You couldn't ask for much more.
This is not for the faint of heart.
All right, Frank, here we go on the first hole, set for, dare I say, takeoff from this aircraft carrier.
Well, that's right, Rich. You really got to make sure that you get the right flight on this shot coming in, because you want it to land soft on this opening hole. It's 186 yards to the middle of the green. Obviously, there's those palms, and
that ball is lost in the water. So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot. So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. +1 in the early going. Now to the second hole, and Frank, I'd be happy to see something with just the normal amount of obstacles, say, a bunker, maybe a pond. Those would be rather benign compared to what we're seeing right here on this second hole.
Yeah, that's no love shack. That's a guard shack there on the right of this green, just past that bridge. So this green well protected on that right side. Of course, water adorns this island green, and tons of local fauna around the green. This is one green you do not want to miss. So this is an interesting tee shot as that destroyer continues to burn.
Amazing that play still continues.
I don't know how much sand those shoes are going to hold, but we're going to find out.
Just wants to hit about an inch behind the ball. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and then there's mulch.
Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all these little chips around the ball, and so the ball doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
Well, double par here, time to pick up and move on. Frank, here at the fourth, there's an awful lot going on.
There certainly is. Solar panels, radar tower is up and ready to go, so it will confirm the landing on the other side if it's successful. This rather long par three around the 230-yard mark, so this is going to be all carry. Got to land that ball on the green. It will not run through that beach area, and of course the trees and the palm trees all the way around. If this isn't flighted properly, it will not find the destination.
Seems like too much for just one man. This looks like a job for an entire flight crew, Frank.
Well, Rich, we should dig ourselves a trench and see what happens.
3 over for the day. Frank, you and I have called golf from around the world. In fact, we had our broadcast position in the Grand Canyon in a hot air balloon. Tell you what, I'm glad we didn't pick that spot to broadcast from. That would have been lights out early.
It would have, but I don't even know if our observation tower that we're situated in is going to be safe. Already the destroyers come and hit the land. And of course the fifth hole, this par 3 at just over 200 yards, that should be rather interesting, but hopefully we'll be safe. Let's batten down the hatches while we watch the tee shot.
Frank, here at the 6th, a really fascinating hole.
It is mid sort of 200 yards, shared greens, a bit like St. Andrews. But because you're hitting it over an island, you're almost going to have to parachute this tee shot in here and get it to land softly. There's a lot of things going on behind to the left and the side. It's like a little village that you're heading into. Hopefully you don't need a passport.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Rolls in the par putt, stays at +2. Now on to the 7th, and Frank, you don't want to get stuck down in those trenches or down on the beach to the left.
Yeah, this hole not overly long, but yeah, there's a lot going on, and really sand traps, even perhaps a minefield. You'd rather, if you're going to miss, be in the former. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Par attempt here, and he makes it for par. Partner, look at that. Left here at the 8th hole. You and I could shoot a little hoop. You want to play a little donkey?
Yeah, it's very observant of you, Rich. Also, the barracks just up ahead that protect the left side of this green. So there's a lot of visual intimidation on this par 3. Follow the sandy trail, and there's green at the end.
Frank, what's ahead after missing the par 3 here?
Well, a tricky little shot coming up, but really this is a difficult par 3. So if you can get this up and down, it still won't be a lost cause.
And he's made it onto the green now. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Did the job right there. Frank, it's been a real battle out here so far on the front 9. Let's finish it off in style here.
There's a great view just slightly right of the 9th green. Look out. Now, that's full of people. You might get the appropriate applause, maybe even a standing ovation, at least a salute. 150 yards approximately to that flag, but you have to be precise. Let's see how precise you can be.
Settles in over the putt. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Here we go at the 10th. We completed a successful front 9 mission, but more to go. Lots of obstacles on this back 9. Rich Lerner for EA Sports alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what are we looking at here at the 10th?
Rather short par 3. Anything that comes up woefully short, you'll be digging it out of the trenches. But the flag on the left side well away from the water. So this really not a par 3 that you should be concerned of getting into trouble unless you dally with some of those trees that are short and left.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Okay, has it, and stays at 1 over par. Frank, this is a daunting tee shot, isn't it?
This has to be hit perfectly. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. This is a 9-footer. So early on the backside, here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey. Slipping just a bit, another bogey, and now 2 over par. Going right back to the large island here at the 13th, Frank.
Trenches behind will certainly protect anything that goes a little bit long. Left of this green, you better call in the Navy.
And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, this looks like a green where if things didn't go well, you might find yourself just walking around in a bit of a haze, maybe talking to an old volleyball that washed ashore.
It's almost like a booby trap, Rich. It looks way too easy after some of the other holes we've seen. I've got this sort of sneaking suspicion there's something out there. It just looks like a green, just perched up there with very little trouble around. That's got me thinking there might just be something out there. If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Always nice, Frank, to put the peg in the ground coming off a birdie.
Well, this game's all about reward, and we just saw that back there. Now, can you be rewarded 2 holes in a row?
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, what happened there on the approach?
It was a poor decision, and well, let's see now. Got to think this one out a little bit better than that second shot, see if we can get it up and down.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
And just take a look out at the battleships burning, those solar panels, the bridges, the barracks. You know you're not at your dad's country club anymore. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. Pretty good shot right there. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Kind of a tricky read. And getting ready for the putt. And he makes it for a bogey here. Coming to the end of this battle, now at the 17th hole, Frank.
Yeah, the penultimate hole. Par 3, we've got to walk across the bridge to get there. And it looks relatively benign at the moment. We've seen a lot of things pop up. The Destroyer is a great reminder of that. Hole is under 200 yards, so within reach. But we've got to once again parachute in all the trouble to the front and the right side of this green. Ball has to be hit nice and high.
Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Now the finishing hole, Frank, and just a spectacular looking hole.
Yeah, chance to complete our mission should we succeed here at 18. If anything, you want to keep the ball a little left of the flag. Otherwise, we're off the beach.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Rough day so far, 4 over par on the round. Going to need the A game tomorrow. That was not the round they were looking for.
Well, the A game, as we know, doesn't come out every single day, but a positive attitude will certainly go a long way. And